right spot.
I think so.
Sure.
I think so.
Ask your viewers.
How's the camera angle? Alright, we're good? Okay, perfect. Alright, so in my 2011 F150 5-liter, I purchased a Kenwood deck. There's new models since I purchased this one. Anyways, there's some cool features in the CD deck. It's a double DIN deck. Anyways, I can hook it to my OBD2. Then, within the stereo, I can see extra gauges. If it throws a check engine light, I can see the check engine light, I can see the code, I believe, erase the code, and it shows me my charging and a bunch of other gauges and my tire pressure and stuff that the truck doesn't normally show. So I'll flip you around and we'll show you these gauges. So here's the deck. We're going to go into our options here, and we're going to go over. So now I can select vehicle info. See, my tire pressure monitoring system is, I have no sensors in my tires, so it just comes up as a fault code. I'm charging at 14.4 volts. If I have a check engine light that comes on, I can hit that, and then it'll tell me the code, and I believe I can, when I'm in that option, I believe I can erase it. I could be wrong though. So we'll back out of this. We'll go back into our options again, and we'll go over to gauges. So I have a voltage gauge I selected, my coolant temperature, my RPM, intake, and exhaust gas temperature. Now I got two menus here, page 1, page 2. So I'll go to page 1, and this is another selection I made. So I got my throttle position, my load, my miles per gallon, and then timing. And I believe that's an instant miles per gallon. And then I have a 0 to 60 option. And I can go and I can click on ready and do a 0 to 60 pull to see how fast we speed up. And I think that's something we might do tonight. So if you want to see how fast this 2011 F150 is with the 5-liter Coyote, stay tuned and we'll show you. But we'll get back to, say, if I go and I click on and press and hold, I can go into my menu option. We'll go to the top, start at the top. So I can select acceleration, air to fuel. See, this is a number 3 gauge. So average fuel economy, battery voltage, down a bit, braking distance. I don't have boost in here, so I don't have a boost gauge. So that option is not available. I have distance to empty, engine coolant temperature, engine load. So this one here is selected on option or gauge 4 for my engine load. Then I have exhaust gas temperature, external air temp, fuel level, fuel pressure. Fuel pressure, I don't have a fuel pressure gauge, so it doesn't load in the system. Same thing with oil temp. The oil temperature doesn't show because there's no actual temperature gauge, there's just a coolant gauge. And then I got instantaneous fuel economy, or fuel consumption, intake air temp, intake manifold. I don't have a intake manifold sensor like for temperature, so I'm sure it's in there, but anyways, it's not registering for the truck. But mass airflow, quarter mile, so I can, oh, that's neat, I can do a quarter mile. How fast we can get going down a quarter mile?
Depends if the cops are chasing you.
Yeah. So what's next? And then we got RPM, throttle plate position, and then I got timing advance on one. Torque, we don't have a torque gauge in the transmission, so it's not going to show up here. And then transmission fluid temperature, I think temperature, well, it doesn't tell me. But I have a transmission fluid temp gauge. I'm not sure what that one is. I don't know if it's a temp gauge or just transmission. It might be the fluid level. That's why it might not be showing up. But let's go back. Oh, and then we got vehicle speed and then 0 to 60 miles per hour on selection 1. So let's go back to our gauges. We got throttle, load, timing, miles per gallon. So let's go and let's change this one here to, let's change this one to quarter mile. Okay, so we got a quarter mile in seconds. We have our 0 to 60. That's our throttle. We'll go in, never mind the timing, we'll change that to RPM. Make this a little interesting. RPM. So we got throttle, quarter mile, 0 to 60, miles per gallon. Let's change our miles to gallon to, where was it? Vehicle speed. So we'll do vehicle speed. And we'll click on that. No. Okay. Alright. So I think we're set up to give you guys a little visual on how fast my truck is and what the throttle will be at, what our quarter mile will be, our RPMs, and our kilometers an hour. So let's go find a nice quiet spot where we're not going to get in trouble and try this out. Oh yeah, it's also minus 15 tonight. There's not much traction on the streets. So in the summertime, you might get better numbers with your F150 than I am with mine. Alright, so we got our advanced track on. Everything's on. Stock 5 liter. We're going to pull out here. Going to come to a complete stop. We're going to do a 0. Okay. Ready? Go. So, in our quarter mile, we got a 1570 in our quarter mile. From 0 to 60 miles per hour, 7.23 seconds. And that was all the features turned on. Advanced track, everything was on. Stock 5 liter, stock exhaust. 18-inch wheels with about 31-inch tires, stock size. So that's what it gave us for everything turned on. Now we'll go and we'll turn off advanced track, and we will turn off, or we'll turn on tow haul to see if we can get more power to the ground and more out of our RPMs. We got our tow haul on, advanced track off. We're going to try her out again. So this time round, we did 1591 in the quarter mile, and with the 0 to 60 we did a 7.41 seconds. Okay, we're going to turn off advanced track. Okay, we're gonna pull out, come to a complete stop. Go. Straight to the floor. So we did a 1575 in the quarter mile, and we did 7.38 seconds in the 0 to 60, and that is just with advanced track off. Tow haul, we didn't do anything with tow haul there this time. Okay, so we just got tow haul on, and we're gonna try it out again. Okay, ready? Advanced track is on, but tow haul is on. Did a 1575 in the quarter mile, and we did a 725 in the 0 to 60 miles per hour. We're just trying now with just traction control off. Foot's right to the floor. So we did a 1548 in the quarter mile. We did a 7.02 to 0 to 60. Okay, so this time we turned the advanced track off on one step. Then we shut off the advanced track on the second step. Here we go. Didn't like that. There's 0 to 60. So we have a 1612 in the quarter mile. So I think due to our wheel hop, we are slower and on both of them, because we have a 771 in the 0 to 60. So by doing that, I believe our traction control did not kick in this time. We had full wheel spin with no traction control overriding the fuel. So if you're looking to have full power, you have to hit the traction control button off for traction control off, let that function, then press and hold your advanced track button continuously until advanced track shuts off. Then you can have full wheel peel. We should try this one more time, feather the gas a little bit so we don't have wheel hop. So I'm gonna pull over, let some traffic go by, and try her one more time. Okay, so we're gonna try this one more time without giving too much wheel spin. We'll ease into it to start. There we go. Tried to ease into it, but we still got some wheel hop once we got up into RPM. So in the quarter mile, we did a 16:30, and 0 to 60, 7.95 seconds. The stock F150 with the 5-liter in it, and those are the average numbers, what the truck reads. So there you guys go. I hope you enjoyed our little experiment with the F150. Now, if you're looking for the fastest pickup, it would just be traction control off. Leave everything else on, and that's what our numbers come up with. Was the best scenario for 0 to 60, and in the quarter mile, just by turning traction control off, leaving advanced track on, and leaving tow haul alone. That's our best numbers, which were 15:48 in the quarter mile and at 7:02 in the 0 to 60. And then the rest was lunch. So if you want the rest of the numbers, watch the video again. And if you haven't already and you'd like to, please subscribe, and we'll see you guys all next time.
I didn't break it.
Yeah, buddy.
Can't prove it. I didn't do it.
Yeah, buddy.